Hey guys, so I just recently saw a movie called Sin City, and I thought it would be cool to sort of mimic the same style, since we're in a Bay Area location. It was another night in the Bay Area. I was a man on a mission, the mayor of this godforsaken, crime-infested town. I would stop at nothing for this one particular mission of mine. It was not something you could send in any police officer for. This was something far more personal. They had my daughter. I know what you may think. It sounds cliched, but it always sounds that way until it actually happens to you. I decided to start with the lowlifes, the scum. The typical baddies who had nothing better to do on a Saturday night. They mostly roamed the streets, pretending to act tough. They were there just in case they had somebody else who was not in the Mad Gang trying to encroach on their turf. Well, here was Mayor Mike Hager ready to make that a reality. It felt different tonight, though. It seemed like they sent out certain guys of similar builds, almost like they were in hordes, packs, together, trying to magnify their strength. But if evolutionary theory has taught us anything, it's that animal magnetism only kind of works sometimes. Okay, maybe most times. It was good to see Wong Hu and Bill Bull and G. Orber all out in full form again. Reminds me of when I used to tear through them regularly. They were not the brightest, but they were good for muscle. Unlike Andor, he and his brothers were some of the more dangerous enemies in the Mad Gang. They had that wicked combination of both. They were just as strong as anybody, could even pick you up and throw you down, but they were smart about their tactics. They weren't prepared for my level of vengeance tonight, though. Tossing barrels, Mad Gang. Really? Never stooped to such lows before. Wonder why now, of all times, you're busting out the stops in such a fashion. I paid it no mind and kept going. Just some more useless, low-life bandits who were ready to take a brutal punching through the stomach. The skinny ones were always the most agile, logically. This made them very difficult to hit also. They were fast little guys. They were slick and quick to jump up behind you when you weren't expecting it. I wasn't about to let any of that happen tonight, though. I didn't get all their hairstyles. Green, orange. Call me old-fashioned. I mean, I am a father. But still. I hope the puppies didn't notice any brutal murders. Anything that would keep them from ever wanting to see another human again. I couldn't help it, though. I was on a mission tonight. Don't lose sight of things, old man. Don't let these guys take advantage of you just because they're younger. The guys in leather jackets were the most trusted Mad Gang soldiers. You never knew exactly what to expect from them. They moved slowly, but you could tell they were very well experienced. Quick to block, and even quicker to lay down a threatening blow. Can't let anything like that happen tonight, though. I need them to be the ones who end up on the other side tonight, not me. Getting slow, old man. Don't let them get like that on you again. This has to happen quickly, smoothly. Who knows what they've already done to Jessica? Makes me sick to think about. Makes me want to fight all that much harder. The bathrooms were disgusting, I granted. My jurisdiction only went so far. I built my campaign on cleaning up this godforsaken city of ours. I could only do so much. Mad gang owned most of the streets. There were some places even my sanitation guys didn't bother to go. I couldn't blame them. You didn't want to mess with these guys. Especially sanitation workers who are so... how do you say... poorly versed in the way of combat. As somebody who used to be a professional wrestler, didn't bother me all that much. Dozens of bikes. I knew I was getting closer to my target. These flamethrower guys, they were dangerous. Not the brightest, though. Their flames always tangled up around you quicker than you expected. But they never got out of the way of the flames themselves so quickly. They started mixing up the hordes. They're interchanging the quick guys with the slow guys. Whoever is at the end of this, they know what they're doing. They're just as dangerous as their tactics. That's right, let the fire crawl up around you. Focus on exactly what you did to earn this. Good thing I had the ability to warp space and time. Something I'd picked up along the years. That's typical, right? To be a professional wrestler who ends up being able to change history a little bit. Not crucially anything. Just go back. Change things a little bit. You don't want things happening the way they do? You can always change them. The quick guys who wielded these small daggers were very dangerous as well, especially when they all ganged up at once. Swarms of them, sometimes even dropping from the skies. I bothered not to look up and see the helicopter, though I heard its noises whirring around me. I cared only about killing them at this point. I couldn't take another fatal blow, though. I was ready to reverse a little bit of time if something like that were to happen. I was in such a blind rage at this point I just kept throwing my fist right at them, hoping it would connect with one of the moist parts of their bodies. Right in between the tough stuff. Did not like how that went. Nothing a little magic couldn't change. Nor that. The good thing is, too, you go back with a little bit of knowledge you've gained. I knew not to stand in that spot right away. In my old age, things had certainly changed. I wouldn't call myself old-fashioned. More of an old fighter. One who's more well-versed in the ways we used to do things. Guys are dangerous these days. Their tactics, they're all about speed, less about strength. But I wasn't about to let them show that strength couldn't win a fight anymore. The ones with daggers almost seemed to be suicidal, running right up to me, not really caring exactly about themselves, more about just completing their mission. Sorry, guys. I can't let you complete it tonight. More barrels. Perhaps there were some resources I could use here. In my old age, I've had to take more pills. Jessica always would say that I needed them. Otherwise, I was going to have a heart attack with all the stress of the job. Thankfully, I hadn't. I figure if being a mayor didn't have as much stress as being a professional wrestler, then I could handle it. Still, she made me see the doctor. Take vitamins. It helps, but not nearly as much as a hot meal. Even to find it discarded in a oil drum somewhere on the road. Hot roast turkey is just the thing I needed to keep going. Don't worry, Jessica. When I get you back from these thugs, I'll be sure to be healthier after this. No more fighting. I mean, as long as you don't go get frickin' caught. I mean, come on. I could see the sunrise already. Had it really been hours since I'd been fighting? I remember starting during the day. Night had fallen at one point. When you have vengeance on your mind, there's not really much else that can change you, not even the passage of time. You just keep going. That's funny. Statue of Liberty in the back there. It looks a little disheveled. I could have sworn I was the mayor of San Francisco. Maybe I'm the mayor of somewhere else. At this point, blinded by rage, I couldn't exactly think of where I was. It didn't matter to me at this point. Picking up this katana really helped things. And just like that, it was gone. I don't know why weapons do that sometimes, they just do. Way out. This was the guy. He had a feminine name, or so I'd heard. I didn't exactly know what it was. But I didn't let that fool me. The guy had a monstrous reach, and a temper that could scare even the darkest, dirtiest convicts. This would not be an easy fight, I knew that from the beginning. I knew he had face paint, but I didn't let that bother me. He was the kind who could just pick you up and throw you. One of the more dangerous kinds, especially for someone like me in my old age. Not quite as young and held together as I used to be. Man, it was humiliating every time he would pick me up like that. I had to figure out a way to stop him from getting so close to me at an angle. That was his biggest advantage point. I was doing the tornado move so many times I was afraid I would throw up. It seemed to be effective, though. As effective as it can be, at least. Drop kicking, however, seemed quite ineffective. If I could just approach him from the inside, come right in and surprise him. I knew that would be the quickest way to get things done. Being the mayor, though, taught me that patience went a very long way. Especially when dealing with guys who wouldn't listen to you. I twirled and twirled, holding my fist out until I couldn't see straight anymore. Felt like I'd passed out a few times during that time. Either way, I knew this fight would be over soon. And just like that, down he went. Another night on the job.